First of all, frontman of Poison for 23 years and counting, a judge on Nashville Star in 2005, and now the star of a brand new reality show on VH1, Rock of Love. Bret Michaels, it's Vinny with Pix 106 in Albany, New York. Welcome to the Big Hairball, and thank you for joining us.
You're welcome, Vinny. How you been doing? All good?
Fantastic.
Good.
It's about 93 degrees up here, lots of humidity, hot stickiness. You know, you can't go wrong there.
It's got to be summertime in Albany.
Exactly.
Which is the name of my new solo record, by the way.
Is it really?
Summertime in Albany.
You'll sell millions, at least in Albany.
It's Vinny and Bret rocking.
There you go. How's it feel to have the brand new reality show coming out, Bret?
It's pretty exciting for me because when we originally shot this, at that time I was newly single, and this is part of what was funny in my life when we were discussing doing this show. I said I've had two things that sort of happen in my dating life. I've either been completely single, right, and we've called it tour bus love, or in the early days, van love. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And you literally pulled into town, and you had a great time, and if you met and it worked, that was great. If it didn't, you pulled out of town, right?
Yeah.
And or I've heavily fallen in love and been in long-term relationships. And so when I did this, being newly single, and the fact that it was 25 women in a house with myself, and they literally, this was the only rules, that they are allowed to film you 24/7. So anything that you do is captured, and then they edit to obviously drive the show. I don't think it's that exciting watching us eat breakfast for 3 hours. But, you know, there is things that happen in the course of a day that make this show extremely well put together and unbelievably entertaining and funny moments, and they allow me to do everything I do. I'd wake up in the morning, work out, go for a dirt bike ride, take one of the girls to the beach, go on dates. We did all kinds of crazy things and contests, and it really made for a very interesting show because no matter what you say or do, none of the girls in here are actresses, so it's not like they're going, okay, this is a role for this month, and next month I'm doing a different thing. They literally are girls that wanted to date a guy in a rock band, and they got him from all over the U.S. and Canada, and that's how it happened.
I got to tell you, you're a very lucky guy. I watched a trailer. I mean, what a choice.
I was so excited the first day that when I drove up to the house, and nervous, I went in, I rode up on the Harley, I got off the bike, I started to say hello, how y'all doing, and I looked around, I'm like, this is 25 really beautiful women. I go, let's just get into the house and throw a party. And we partied from about probably 5 or 6 in the evening till about 5 or 6 the next morning. And right after that, they offered 5 more. After the very first night, they offered 5 more episodes.
Wow. I bet you a lot of people wouldn't think Bret Michaels could be nervous at all. Right?
No, I tell you what, I'd never done anything quite like this. Like, we were talking about Nashville Star, much different situation because it was simply based on what I knew, which was music, listening to music. Leanne Rimes was hosting the show, so all I had to do was listen to people perform and then maybe make some suggestions. This was them really cutting into your personal life and what you're saying, what you're doing, what anything that you were doing was caught on film, and it was a pretty bizarre situation. The first few days was very awkward for me, and then it got a little easier as it went along.
Right. You mentioned that you're a newly single bachelor here.
Right.
What do you think your longest relationship was?
Easily 10 years. I got 2 beautiful daughters, and I've been very fortunate that when I'm in a relationship, I'm really tight. Like I still try to make it fun as it was when it started, and that was part of the premise, Vinny, going into this, was that I don't put on the face of the stranger. Like when they meet me, what they sort of see is what they're continuously going to get. So if it ain't working then, it's probably not going to work in the future.
What do you think it is that makes it so hard for women to survive the long run with a rock and roller?
What I think is, and I said this early on, that rock and roll has been the reason for and destruction of all of my relationships. Because here's what happens when you first meet somebody and you're out there on the stage having fun. It's very primitive. It's sexual. It's fun. It's crazy. And then all of a sudden they realize, wait a minute, if this continues, how do I know that this doesn't happen every night? Yeah,
I mean, I was going to say, there's got to be 2 feelings women get. It's got to be loneliness.
Yeah, and I can put another word in there.
Okay.
It's lonely, and sometimes it's bizarre because the mind starts to play that game that they're going, wait a minute, I'm at home, I met them out on the road. They were partying, having a great time. Is this going on every night with or without me?
Exactly.
And it's a weird. Listen, I would think I said that straight up front. And anyone who's known me throughout the course of my career knows I like to have a great after party. I'm really close with my fans, with the fans, and it's sometimes that can also, now with what I call the internet world that we live in. You take one picture with someone backstage with your arm around them, that can turn into anything you want it to be.
Exactly. They can animate that and make it a full feature film.
But yes, I'm looking forward. The show is very, to say the least, it's very entertaining and you have to have a good sense of humor to watch it. I wanted to mention this too, very important. August 24th, I know we're very close to you guys because we're going to headline at the New York State Fair.
Yes, and August 26th, you're playing Saratoga Performing Arts Center, which is right up the road from Albany.
That's right. The 24th, we're at the New York State Fair, which I believe is in Syracuse.
Yes.
And then we're coming back to Saratoga on the 26th.
Yes, and I'll definitely be at that show because I don't think I've missed a show that you guys have come around for.
And wait, I just want to say this to yourself and the fans. This is bar none the biggest production we've ever taken on the road as far as the look of the show and the sound. But it is, I feel, one of our best shows musically we've ever done, and really excited to have you see this new show.
Poison just amazes me by the way you guys just come out and rock every year. It's like a nonstop party with you guys.
It is, and it will continue.
And we got to thank you for that, though,
You're welcome.
By the way, before we get off the phone here, Bret, do you want to come up with a chorus for our brand new song? No,
please. We've got to. Me and you. We're going to do is we're going to put together a song for our new Vinny and Bret Rocks the Hits. I'm telling you, it's coming. I'm going to get together with you. We're going to go in the studio, break out a guitar, and me and you are just going to write one right on the spot.
That sounds good. When you come to town the 26th, give me a half an hour or something.
You got it. I've got a studio on the bus. We'll write something.
Nice.
You got it.
All right, Bret, I want to thank you for your time today. I'm looking forward to seeing the premiere of the show Sunday night, 9 o'clock, VH1. It's Rock of Love with Bret Michaels.
You got it.